Welcome, everybody. We are at a brand new market close for this Valentine's Day. So it's going to be kind of a hearty show, as we said in the comments. So glad that you guys could make it here today. We're going to look at the market. It is a green market after an insanely red market yesterday. It was really, really red yesterday. It was so red yesterday that I was able to call this as a green market before the market even opened. It was almost impossible for us to be red today unless something seriously was going on in the economy. And all it really was yesterday was a little bit of jitters because of the CPI data on Tuesday. So that CPI basically said our inflation, it's still coming down in the US, but it didn't come down as much as they thought. So missed expectations, caused people to panic, and we got to see a little bit of what that could look like, and it hit both sides, S&P 500, as well as, of course, the good old TSX up here in Canada. All right, so we have, of course, we got the bell for 4 o'clock. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at some heat maps. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to we'll probably look at the watch list. I've been playing around a little bit with getting the watch list moved over. We're going to look at Discord as well, just show you guys what the heck is going on over on Discord. And I'll even drop a link in there for Discord as well. I'll drop it down below in the video. So that way there, if you want to join us on Discord, you can do that. A lot of conversation going on in a lot of places. But for right now, the conversation is all here. And, well, let's hit the comments and see what you guys have got going on. We got a Vancouver Isle guy, Mr. Kevin, saying, I'm excited for this feed. Absolutely. Me too. And then just my little message for the day. Of course, any super chats, super stickers, super thanks, that all gets added into the 0 to 100K challenge. So thank you, of course, for whatever support you guys throw the way of the channel. Now we have a heart and, of course, like I said, hearty stream today. And there's Jordan. We've got Paul in the house saying course ended early today. Awesome. It means that Paul is here nice and early. Jackie is here saying, Mr. Banana Bread Squirrel with Red Market Roses is fun. And that's actually a new character on the channel. It's actually a character associated with the 0 to 100. I think that's where I'm going to use her. That's Hazel Nutterscotch. Hazel Nutterscotch. I will say one thing. She may make an appearance on that parody video that I'm currently working on. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Prairie's in the house with a good afternoon, everybody. Made it, but will be listening as I work. That's better than whistling as you work, because whistling can, if you're like me, my whistling, it almost always ends up being Christmas tunes and everybody yells at me. I don't even realize it, but hey, that's just the way it goes. Paralova says, hope your trading day was a success. Not a bad day. Not a bad, pretty predictable day. Jungle says, I am finally set up on Wealth Simple. Yeah, absolutely not bad. I think yesterday, I got a referral code that came through on Wealth Simple. Maybe that was you. Maybe that was you. I'm not 100% sure, but it could have been. Mario said, good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you, Mario. Glad to see you're here. And Vancouver Isle guy, gotta be a good one. Holy banana bread. Yeah, absolutely. Gotta love the banana bread. Cavenine Cass says, glad to see more green today. Yeah, we definitely had a good amount of green today. Ian says, I have a Spanish lesson coming up in 45 minutes. I should probably be studying Spanish. Can you do the rest of the stream in Espanol? I don't know that many Spanish words, unfortunately, Ian, but for you, I'll say hola. I believe that means hello in Spanish. Change Despair says, howdy, folks. Hello. Ian says, also got in an argument with a girlfriend 30 minutes ago, so now I'm single again. Happy Valentine's Day to me. I think you did it the wrong way, but I feel bad that you're single, but that, at least this is the way I look at it. If a single argument is enough to tank a relationship, then it probably wasn't a really strong relationship. I would hope. And Jungle says it was me. Yes, absolutely. There we go. And Paul says bought HSY on the 2% dip today. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, let's take a gander. Well, first of all, let's just see where the market is here. The big chart on the side is Bitcoin. Look at what Bitcoin did. Not only did it break that 50,000 mark, and the 50,000 mark, let me see here. It's right here. Right here is the 50,000 mark. Not only did it broke it big time, making it all the way up here, threatening to go up to, and let's just take a look here. Yeah, it actually did touch 52,000 today. So it's just doing some consolidation here. The nice thing is 50,000 is turning into a support level. So that means if we do get a breakdown here, chances are it's only going to go back down to 50,000 unless something seriously goes wrong with Bitcoin, and then head back up. So those of you who are into the Bitcoin, you probably woke up this morning looking at the fact that it broke out and with a lot of joy in your heart. That's for sure. So that's what's going on with Bitcoin. Over here on the side, we have all of our charts. You can see the S&P 500. It's up almost 1%, so 0.87% up. TSX is up 1.35%. Now, gold and oil both down, but here's Bitcoin. Look at this, up 4.07% on the day. So that is not too shabby. All right, now here's another cool little thing. I'm going to show you guys this. I now have put I haven't got everything over. I started moving stuff. There it is. Here's our market close list. So these are all of our things in the market close. And I'm just going to pull this up here and we can sort of see. I can pull up different graphs, for example, and then I can also bring it down here so that we can actually look at them and we can see who's doing the best. So holy cow. So for today, Cipher Pharmaceuticals is up a whole 7.23%. So that's not too bad. So Cipher Pharmaceutical, Celsius Holdings, the other Hammond, HPS.A, up a good 3.64%. Now the regular Hammond, where are they? They're in here somewhere. I'm pretty sure I put them in here. Yeah, here they are, right down here. So they were up 2.13%. So in that 0 to 100K challenge, their total return has passed 70%. They were at one point today, they were around 75%. So that's absolutely awesome. I can't believe it. So that to me is really, really, really good. All right, let's take a look at the heat map. Get ready for some green. So here is the heat map for the TSX. And you can see, look at this, all the banks are up. It's probably easier to tell you what wasn't up. And here it is, Enbridge. Why? Why wasn't Enbridge up? Well, they had an earnings call that came out and they did not meet expectations. So because of that, that's what happens. People get a little bit there's a little bit of selling pressure that comes with not meeting expectations. It sends them into the red. Enbridge, though, did raise their dividend. So there is that. So those of you who love that Enbridge dividend, it's going to be a little bit higher. So you have that to look forward to for sure. Okay. In the U.S. market, before we move to the U.S. market, look at this. Shopify was up 4.20%. That's not too shabby. Over in the U.S., here we go. I don't know why this isn't as bright as it should be. But yeah, look, Amazon is up. Tesla's up 2.24%. Apple's down. So a couple of small little things. So it seems to be a little bit more subdued. Meta's still doing pretty good, 2.52% up. So Meta's just ticking along. Now, here is crypto for you. Look at the green there. That has absolutely, that's absolutely makes me think of summer and I'm looking at a lawn or something. It is very green. So you got Bitcoin up almost 4%, Ethereum up 4.5%. Solana had a good day at 3.33%. So yeah, Cardano, look at that, Cardano up 5.45%. So if you are a crypto investor, you had a good day. You had a very, very good day. So nothing wrong with all of that. Now, let's bring it back to the full screen and we'll hit up on these comments. So Kevin is congratulating Jungle Eddie for joining Wealth Simple. Paulo says, happy wife, girlfriend is happy life. Almost 20 years married, and she has not killed me yet. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Otherwise, I'm attracting an audience that I didn't realize I was going for. Kevin says, Paul, me also, fingers crossed, the future remains the same. What is the new Enbridge dividend? I don't know. But let's find out. So one of the places I like to go to find out about these new dividends, and it may not be showing up yet. So we'll have to see, but let's take a look. We'll take a gander. This is a really wonderful site, TMX, so money.tmx.com. So let's put in our Enbridge. Here we go. I'm going to bring up Enbridge. Go over to the key data. Let's take a look and see if it's been declared yet. So let's see here for their March. So yeah, they've gone from 88.7 cents a share to 91.5 cents a share. So there we go. There's our new dividend for Enbridge. And let's see, natural gas, holy moly. Yeah. Kevin and Cass says, choose Enbridge for my dividend capture and wishing I went with ENGH, which went up. ENGH, by the way, guys, is the deep dive for Friday's video. Those of you who are channel members, you get to see it a day early. So the channel members will get to see that video on, well, tomorrow. I'll be filming it in the morning. I've already scripted it. I'll be filming it in the morning, going straight into editing. And as soon as it's finished, I'll upload it. You guys will get to see it early. Everybody else will see it on Friday. So that's kind of cool. Ian says, Enbridge won't let me be. I think Eminem. Okay. Said that. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Kevin and Cass says, Enbridge did. Yeah, 0.915. So 91.5 cents per share. So that's kind of interesting. Perlova is back to the natural gas. New 3-year low in the U.S. There's a lot of people right now who are a little bit stressed out on natural gas, and that's because of Biden. Biden basically saying no new exporting natural gas facilities will be approved. So that's kind of where he's going. Now, there's a lot that have already been approved that are still going to be built. So their capacity for exporting natural gas is going to pretty much almost double by 2030. So they do have a lot in the pipe. It's just, and it's not even meant as I realized as soon as I said in the pipe, I was like, oh, that's like a pun. That was an unintentional pump. So that's pretty darn cool. Anyway, Vancouver Isle guy says, NVIDIA closing at all-time high today, I believe. Yeah, the chips are doing really, really good. So that does not shock me at all. I am pretty bullish on anything chip related. And especially, I've been looking at where AI is heading, and I very much pay attention to AI because I think that's going to drive the tech side of the market for a long time. So I want to know what's going on. Today, I actually watched, I think, a 30-minute video on ChatGPT 5, where that's going to come in at, how much more intelligent it's going to be than ChatGPT 4. And there's some crazy stuff coming. Actually, what's coming up next on ChatGPT is they're enabling the memory function on it. And I think there was news out about that yesterday. So what that means is that when you're using ChatGPT 4, it'll be able to remember you. So it will be able to remember the things that you like, the things that you talk about, the things that interest you. It'll be able to remember all your past conversations. So that way there, if there is, it just customizes it a lot more towards you. And that's kind of cool because right now it doesn't. Like you could ask it a question and then the next day you can say, hey, do you remember that answer from yesterday? And it won't. But now it'll be able to do all of that. And it's going to really, really kind of take things to a new level. So I'm looking forward to that. Ian says 91. Yes, that is Canadian. So US, sorry, CAD. Yeah, that's Canadian. USD. Right. All right. There we go. Hopefully Cisco earnings call is great today. Well, we'll know about that tomorrow. I'm not sure though. Keith says, hi, like the ETF video, keep them coming. So here's a new thing, Keith. Once a month, I'm going to do a deep dive on an ETF. Normally in the past, I've touched ETFs occasionally, but very, very rarely. But I'm going to do a deep dive catered to ETFs, and we're going to do that once a month. So over there on the Discord, in the pool, I have a section for ETFs. So when you guys request different ETFs, they'll come up in their own separate vote when we do the voting. So I'll keep two different tallies. We'll have one for the stocks and one for the ETF. So we'll do stocks most of the time. But at least once a month, we're going to do an ETF. The first ETF is actually going to be not this week, but the following week. So I'm going to be putting out a poll later this week for ETF. So right now, I'm just waiting for you guys to give me the ones that you want me to throw in for the vote. I got a couple of them already. I'll fill them up. If you guys don't get me any ETFs, I'll just throw in whatever I think. But other than that, yeah, it's coming up. It's going to be very, very cool. And Vineet's in the house. Hello, Vineet. How often do they announce CPI? It's a monthly thing. So you do get a CPI each month because your CPI is for the previous month's data. So for example, the CPI that came out on Tuesday was for the US in January. So there will be one that comes out in March, for example, and that'll be for the economy in February. So it keeps on moving that way. Perlovia says, I hope most of you got some MDA.T. It finally broke out. Nice, nice. So that is kind of cool. The bell. I'm a minute late. I can't believe it. You guys had such an awesome stream of conversation going that I totally lost track of the time. But that's kind of cool. That's what you guys are like. So we do have our final numbers. Let's go jump in. Let's get our final look at the market. I'm going to bring it back up, get over here. Whoops, that's the heat map. We don't need the heat map. And we don't need that. This is what we need over here. Just let me go back to the main list. All right, here we are. So we did officially finish in the green. And look at that. The S&P 500 got back above 5,000 again. I like to see it there. I don't want it to go below 5,000 anymore, unless, of course, I want to buy something. Then it needs to drop big time. So we finished almost 1% up on the S&P 500, almost 1.5% up on the TSX. And, of course, Bitcoin still chugging along, 3.91% up on the day. So, and let's see where Hammond ended the day. 13.94. So I imagine by the end of the week, Hammond's going to be in the 14s. So, and that's crazy. That is really crazy because here's a funny thing. I was talking to, I think it was the Financial Wizard. So the Financial Wizard is a finance version of ChatGPT. And I was just asking, where do you think Hammond's going to go? And it gave me this prediction in the 12s. So it's going to end up at 12 something later this year. And we've absolutely shattered that. So I don't know how much trust I put into ChatGPT's Financial Wizard, but we'll have to see. And yeah, exactly. We do have a market close. Our final look at the heat maps. So as you can see, once again, a whole bunch of green other than Enbridge. Enbridge is sticking out like a sore thumb. Maybe a good time to get into Enbridge if you want to average down a little bit. And US, same general idea. It's kind of more of a muted green, but we do have a green day nonetheless. And crypto will just keep going. It's going to stay green. There's no way around it. We're in for a whole bunch of green. All right, let's bring my big head back. We got Vic in the house. Vic is here. Vic, are you driving? Are you currently driving? I'm always worried about you when you're driving and replying in the chat. Now, it'd be great if somebody else was driving and you were in the passenger seat replying, but definitely, if you're driving, Vic, pull over when you want to talk. Pull over for sure. Christopher is in the house. Hello, Candace, a longtime viewer, first-time poster. Awesome. Well, it's great to see. It's great to see, Christopher. I know every so often I hear from a lurker, and a lurker is just a word meaning that, you watch, but you don't talk. And it's always great, and it's always fun to see. And sometimes it's like, sometimes I don't even realize that there's people here who I have never met, I've never seen. And today, one of them has stepped out of the shadow. So definitely good. Feel free, Christopher, to ask anything you want. Throw your questions in, all of that fun stuff. Most of us don't bite, at least I think, or I hope. Paul says, you could do a video reviewing the earnings on both Hammonds. That's not a bad idea, actually. I'll have to check. See if their earnings reports come out at the same time. It makes me think that they probably might, just because they are owned by the same group of people. So yeah, let me look into that, Paul. I think that's a great idea. Where are you all from? Manitoba here. I'm from Nova Scotia, but I live in Ottawa. That's my story. And I know where a few people here are from. So I know we got Manitoba. I don't know if I know we normally have Saskatchewan in the house. I think there's a lot of Ontario. There's a lot of West, a few Maritimers. We get a little bit of everything in here, I believe. But I'll let you guys answer where you guys are from. That's kind of cool. Paul says, and how both Hammonds are different. That's the thing, right? How are they different? It's very subtle, but that would be a fantastic video, Paul. Oh, that's a really good idea. I like that idea a lot. Vic says St. James, Asabonia, or Cinnabone. I'm trying. And here's Chad, Saskatchewan in the house. MDA Good sold it to early. MDA Good sold it too early. Was buying it at $8 to $9. Okay. And Ian is from Saskatchewan, though Ian is currently in Poland or Poland. Ian is not in Poland, Colombia. I do not know where You know what it is? I was looking at Ian's last name, so Polla, and change anyway. Well, technically, there's only one L in Poland, but that's what it was. It was looking at his last name when I was about to say Colombia, and Poland came out. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Jerry DX is from Windsor. Awesome, awesome. Paul wants a producer credit. Absolutely, Paul. You could have a producer credit. Kevin Akaz says lots of chatter out there on TSLY reverse split. Yes. So Yield Max is doing, I think it's a 3-to-1. Definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a 3-to-1 reverse split. So that'll be really interesting to see, because here's one of the things with Yield Max, where they're synthetic covered calls, they don't actually own any of the shares. So this is just going to be a way to sort of boost up the price on that, because it is, it's obviously fallen a lot. But yeah, that'll be very interesting to see. I've never seen it on, synthetic covered calls are fairly a newer concept anyway. But yeah, I can't wait to see how that looks. Let's see. Prairie is in Manitoba. CS is just outside of Ottawa. So there we go. Not that far away. Like probably, are we talking like Stittsville type or something like that, CS? Let's see. A Jungle says Halifax by way of Windsor, Ontario. Yeah, Halifax is awesome. I was born in Halifax, so I definitely like it there. Now, luckily, we're not experiencing the same kind of snow that they get out there in Halifax. Mary says, here, bit late. Well, it's still good to see you, Mary. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, no. It's that image again. Ian the Naked Gardener. Why do I remember that? I think anybody who was here the day that Ian told us the Naked Gardener story is never going to forget it. So any of you who do not know this story, and Ian's already said it in chat. So basically, Ian went and Googled himself and found somebody with the exact same name as him. But instead of being our Ian, he's a naked gardener. So who figures? I think everybody Googles themselves, so that's not a bad thing. Chad, of course, saying Saskatchewan in the house, of course. It's a 2-to-1. So it's a 2-to-1 split. There we go. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. I have to look into that a little bit more. I've seen it. I've seen a few people talking about it over on Blossom. And by the way, guys, good segment for Blossom. So Blossom is that social media app for investors. Link down below. Over there, basically, it's just investors from Canada and the US now, because we have expanded into the US. It's a good way to just talk to people who are like you. Lots of great ideas, probably some bad ideas as well over there. You always want to do your due diligence, no matter where the idea comes from. But yeah, it is a fantastic place. I definitely recommend checking it out. I think as soon as I start fumbling a word, it is time for coffee. That means, hello, Starbucks. I'm looking for a sponsorship. Give me a call. I don't think they're going to ever answer, but I will keep trying. Sort of reminds me of Do you guys remember the old Rosie McDonald show? How she used to always have a seat available for Tom Cruise to show up on her show? It's like that, except for in my case, I just want a sponsorship from somebody. Here we go. Change the Spare says from NB 20 years now. So New Brunswick, 20 years now in BC. BC is so awesome. I love BC. I've lived in BC as well. I have never actually lived in New Brunswick, but you know, New Brunswick's not that different from Nova Scotia, so I'll give you that. Mary is in Toronto. Nice. And Chad is saying on February 20th, Walmart doing a 3-to-1 stock split. There we go. So if Walmart's a little too pricey for you now, it'll be 3 times less pricey here at the end of February. So not a bad thing. Sammer says from Brazil, now Strathroy, Ontario. Well, welcome to Strathroy. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, that's kind of like an international presence. Which is kind of cool. Actually, it's funny. If you ever look at my channel email says, oh my God, I just looked at the next comment. My channel email says, I get these, basically I get an onslaught of people saying, hey, I want to do your SEO. And they seem to be from every part of the world. And half the times they start telling me stuff about my channel and they get fundamental things completely wrong. I ignore those though, not for that simple reason, but I'm okay with doing the work myself. And plus, I'm not big enough to really afford to hire somebody to do things for me. All right. So Vic said ARM shot up because SoftBank owns 90% and retail fighting over 10%. So ARM, of course, they had a big week last week. They also manufacture chips. So, you know, not surprising that they shot up. And this is another interesting thing that Vic has brought up. And we got Roku from Stittsville. I heard Stittsville. Guess where I'm from? I'm going to go out on a limb and say Stittsville. Okay. Kevin says, I'm from New Brunswick also and on Vancouver Island now for years. Yes, I mean, if you guys ever see pictures of where Kevin is from, it's absolutely, Kevin, you have to come over onto Discord, and then you can, we'll even create a file for a place for just pictures, and you can just load them up as much as you want so people can sort of see. Kevin lives in a very beautiful area. I believe he's off the grid as well, so not too fair. I prefer Nova Scotia to New Brunswick, but BC is tops for me. Yeah. BC is fantastic. The big downside to BC, of course, is that it costs a ton to live there. But I'm sure that there are places. Well, like if you're living in Vancouver, for example, you can move to places like Maple Ridge or things like that on the outskirts, and you know it's a lot less expensive. It's still expensive though. Jackie says Toronto to Waterloo to Saskatoon to Regina, and finally London, Ontario. Awesome. Wow, you have seen a little bit of the country, at least the prairies anyway, and a bit of Ontario. All right. Talk stocks with me from Nigeria and now at Strathroy, Cardadoc, Ontario. Nice. Very, very cool. Chad says, Saskatoon, crazy now, too much crime. Holy cow. Yeah, crime, never fun. Ian says, I don't know why, but I already had ENB dividend put down at 0.915. So don't even get to enjoy the dividend bump off. Sadness. Well, that's kind of sad. Yeah, absolutely. Kevin says, I'm not familiar with Discord. So Discord, I actually said I would show you guys Discord. So let me bring it up and show that to you here. Give me a second. I have to pull it over to... There we go. I have to pull it over to the other window. All right, here we go. So let's bring this up. Here is Discord. So Discord is basically, it's a server. It's on the internet. There's also an app. You can have it on your phone or your tablet. If you have a Mac, you can even have an app on the Mac as well. But yeah, so Discord is it's basically set up as a, like we have little sections. So for example, coming down the sides, we got basic info. So here's the schedule. So this is the schedule. So anytime you're thinking, what the heck is the next video coming out? You can come over to here and you can see right here, market close. That's the one that we're on now. And then look at this, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., channel member live stream. So that's going to be a live stream exclusive for the channel members. That's tomorrow night. Of course, if you're not a channel member and you do want to go, there's a couple of ways you can become a channel member. Well, one, someone can gift you a channel membership. I do gift them every month. Beginning of the month, I do a drop of channel memberships for free for you guys. Also, you can, anybody can gift them to anybody. Actually, Jordan has a habit of gifting them as well. In addition to that, you can, of course, subscribe. It costs about the cost of a cup of coffee like this. There's basically right below the chat, there's a little dollar sign, or underneath any of the YouTube videos, you'll see a little join. You just click on that, you sign up, you join, you get to do all of that stuff. And you also get to see videos a little bit sooner. But anyway, I'm just going, I'm rambling about that. Let's just go back over here. So now here's the pool. I've just moved it over here. So these here are the company. So for example, when I do my deep dive and I put up the next one, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to look at these, and I got these US stocks. So I've only just recreated the pool. So we're waiting for you guys to give me more companies to add, and I will come in and I will pick from them. And you'll notice, back to the channel members again, this little CM, that means it's a channel member one. So when I go to look for one, for example, I won't grab BCE next time around. I'm going to grab CRT.UN and put that up into the vote because a channel member put it. So these guys always jump to the front. And what I really probably should do is I probably should just move this behind them. But it's just a way that we can, a way I can reward them. So we also, and I mentioned as well, we're doing an ETF one. So right now I've got TSLY and ENCC. I need at least 3 more before I put the vote up. So if you guys have them, be sure to jump over to Discord or just jump on any of my videos in the comments, or even on the comments of this one once the comments are open. Don't throw it over there on the side because I might miss it. So that's just a kind of neat little thing. So here's the main thing. So we got a whole bunch of general stuff. So let's say, for example, I put up links to stuff that's happening. So here's the link to this right now, what we're doing. I threw up a story here as well. Now, this is the beautiful thing. So we also have a Facebook group, but over on the Facebook group, I can't share the news stories. It won't let me. But over here, I can. So I saw a news story this morning about Boston Pizza upping their dividend. So here it is, right here. Simple as that. We also have here's the pet spot. So you can see pets, like, there's one of my cats. Here's Prairie's dog. Here's Enid's cat. And Danny Burr has a dog as well. So that's Finn. So yeah, absolutely. Lots of places you can do that. Just stuff. You guys can do anything. Like you can't even over spam here. I also keep an update as well, like a running little update. Here's an update on the 0 to 100K challenge. And I'll put other stuff in here too. Right now, it's just the other day. And here's that beautiful thing. Remember this? I think I did this. Well, I did this yesterday. So yesterday, Hammond was up at 65.83% total return on the challenge. And as I said today, they're in the high 70s, but they're in the mid 70s. They had hit 75 today. So they pretty much went up 10% in a day. That is absolutely crazy. But you know what? That's just the way the market goes sometimes. Hammond is on a tear. So I can't, I can't wait. And this here too, here's this beautiful one, self-promotions. Nobody's promoted anything yet. But let's say, for example, if you have a YouTube channel of your own and you want to promote it, throw up a link in there so people can check you out. And here's all the people so far who have come over. Like, we've only just opened the server a little bit, so we got a few people over. I will always be, now keep in mind too, if a link doesn't work to get you to the server, it's only because these links, I just discovered this today. They only last for 7 days. So always go to a new video to grab that link, because I'm going to keep on updating it on all of the newer videos just so people can get over there, or just go over to Discord. You just type in like discord.com. And if you do a search for Mountain Finance, I think I'm the only Mountain Finance over there. So just to keep that in mind. This is where you can do deep dive requests, all that fun stuff. There's a crypto section here for crypto chat if you want to talk about crypto. And you can see there's been some conversations going on in here. So Definitely fantastic. I think, and I love this is that it's so much easier to organize than Facebook. So that's one of the reasons I think a lot of people, because I gave them the option earlier, I think towards the end of last year, we did a vote and everybody voted for, most people voted for Discord. So definitely something you want to check out. All right, let's bring back my big head again. All right. And Vic says BC equals bring cash. There we go. It kind of does. Chad says finally cracked, bought 35 shares of HMM.A. Down 30 cents. No biggie. No, it's definitely no biggie. You will be happy. A week from now, you'll be happy. Look at that. Well, look who's next after you. Installing the app right now. That's Kevin. Kevin, a couple, like, what was it? I was talking to Kevin not even last week. Well, it was towards the end of last week. And he asked me, is it too late to get on HMM.A? I said, no, it's not. And I think he did jump on and he's up already. So he's definitely. All right. And we've got a super chat. So that's $2 going into the 0 to 100K. So that's an extra $2. Thank you, huge Paul. And Paul wants to know, REITs hurting from delay of rate cuts. I think as long as the market stays green, REITs are going to still move along flat. Like until we start seeing these rate cuts, like we'll see a little bit of movement. So for example, one of the REITs that I have, RioCan, in the 0 to 100K, they're doing fine. They're slowly moving. But once we do get the rate cuts, and keep in mind, this delay in the rate cuts is not going to be a long delay. I still think we're going to see the first one in June. So it's not going to be a big delay. So I would not be worried. And here's the thing. If there's a delay in the REITs going up, that's more time to get them at the bottom. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. Kevin says, I installed Discord. There you go. Paul says, self-promotion, banana bread recipes. Ooh, you know what? Absolutely. And this is the thing. If your YouTube channel is not about finance, you can still throw it in the self-promotion. The only thing I would say is if you had a YouTube channel that is perhaps not family friendly, then maybe not share it. But as long as your YouTube channel is on the up and up, or your TikTok or your Instagram, whatever you want to share, it doesn't matter to me. Some YouTubers get all up in the air, kind of like no self-promotion. No, this is my channel. Only promote me. I'm like, screw that. If you guys have some stuff you want to promote, you're more than welcome to, because there's a place for you to do that. All right. And Sammer says, HMM or BAM? Pick one. Buying now and hold it for the next 5 years, and why? Oh. I'm going to choose BAM, which might surprise you, over HMM. And I'll tell you why. BAM to me is just it's one of these really well-managed companies. They really know how to do things. And I kind of look like, I did this for the channel members. We did a tier list. BAM came out for me as being one of the, if you look at the S tier, I think I made it halfway between S and A. So BAM to me is one of those stocks I think you can't go wrong with. Now, HMM is probably going to beat the heck out of BAM for a while. But here's the problem with HMM. If that demand ever starts going back down for, transistors, transformers, and probably some transistors as well, but for that electrical type parts and such, if that demand goes down, HMM will start to, they'll leave it out, and they may even come down at that point. So I look at ham right now. I'm uber hyped on ham, on HM. I don't know why I want to call it ham, but we'll call it ham. I'm on hum. I'm very bullish for the next while. And but I don't know if it would be 5 years. You see, and that's the key to this question, next 5 years. BAM, I have confidence. I'm confident that BAM will be in a very good place in 5 years. They've already increased their dividend. So I'm looking really strongly at BAM. HMM will beat the banana bread right out of them probably the next couple of years, but beyond that, I don't know. But BAM, I do know they're going to be doing well for a long time. Good vibes says bonjour. Well, oh, bonjour. Right. For some reason, I was looking at bonjour. That's hello. For some reason, I was thinking that was merci. I was about to say, oh, well, have a good time. But no, welcome. Welcome. Vic says almost rear-ended someone. Too close even for Valentine's Day. Vic, you have to be careful when you're driving. You have to be very, very careful. It's like I feel like I shouldn't say anything funny because then Vic might rear end somebody. Let's see. Vic says YouTube investment drama. Brandon fostered YouTube investment drama. Brandon founded Blossom and doesn't like. Yeah. I'm aware of that drama. I try to stay out of it, but as you know from Sunday stream, I'm not a huge fan of. It's not that I'm not a huge fan. It's just that the evidence, and actually, I'm not even going to get into that at all. Vic. I'll just leave that there. The information is out there on the internet. I think Brandon did a video on it that you can go and can check. Let's see. Vancouver Isle says, I can't search Mountain Finance on Discord app. Oh, that's interesting. Well, you can do it on the, if you go in through your PC, you can do it that way for sure. Wants me to input a URL. Oh, well, that's kind of interesting. Well, give me a second here. Let me grab the link here. I mean, you can type this link out into it probably, hopefully. Here we go. There, I just put in the link for it as well. So hopefully you can do it that way. I've never actually, I do everything on my desktop, to be honest. That's just because I need all my screens for everything I do. Let's see, want you to input. Okay. Prairie says, always love driving the Rockies from Jasper to Banff. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, because then you've got like the Columbia ice fields in there as well. However, during our 2023 summer vacation, the Cape Breton Highlands found a place in my heart. Yes. So if you drive around the outskirts of PEI of Cape Breton, it's called the Cabot Trail. One of the most epic, beautiful drives you can ever make. It usually takes I don't think you can do it in a day. You're probably going to at least need to stay, maybe drive the first half of the day up to Sydney, the second half down. What I will recommend, though, if you're frugal like me, bring your own food with you, because all of the restaurants that you will find along the Cabot Trail, they are astronomically marked up. And the reason? There's no competition. You're either going to pay what they want or you're not going to eat. So one of those vacation tips for anybody doing the Cabot Trail. Yeah, it is absolutely in the URL as well. And Paul has it. Vic, listen only while driving, or if you get a burning question, pull over, then type your question in. Nothing wrong with that. Candace, you can't even say his name. What, Griffin? Yeah, I can say his name. I think that just the thing is, when it comes to drama between two other people, I try to not get involved to the best of my ability, just for the simple reason that I don't want drama to spill over onto us. Just because, I tend to keep at least what community wise, I like to keep a very good atmosphere. Family friendly. Everybody respects everybody else. And here's the thing. Let's say, for example, if Griffin came in and said hi in a live stream, I'm not going to throw him out or anything. And here's the thing, as far as I'm concerned as well, whatever happened. So, and I know what happened, but let's just say that that Griffin made a mistake, did something wrong. It doesn't mean that I don't think he should ever be forgiven. I think if he acknowledged the mistake and apologized, then hey, I'm all for forgiveness. So, we'll leave it at that. All right. Paralovia says, Gotta scoot. My cow started calving. Holy banana bread. Cupid, green arrows your way. Bye. Oh man, this is the first person who's ever had to leave the chat because their cow started to have a baby. So that's kind of a brand new thing. That's awesome. All right. Let's see. Van Isle guy found it. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. And you're in. Awesome. All right. I like to see that. Paul says, I see the Discord notifications for new people, and I saw Van Isle. Okay, awesome. And here's the beautiful thing. I didn't even know you could friend people in Discord. Like, like I'm fairly new to Discord myself. And I was in there today and I saw this notification saying, Paul friended me. I'm like, oh, okay. I had to click around a little bit to find where Paul was so that I could friend him back. So, yeah. So I mean, if you're over there and you're really good with Discord, feel free to friend me. Feel free. I'll friend you back. When it comes to when it comes to private messages and things like that, if you want to tell me something that you don't want to say in public, yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times, especially with finance, that's probably, sometimes you may want to tell me something about a stock of yours or something, and you may not want everybody to know that you bought A, B, or C. Yeah, absolutely, use it. I'm totally open to that. So always a good thing. And Zach says, good afternoon. Hello, Zach. Welcome to the stream. And Zach says, I love Discord. Just joined. Awesome. I can't wait. I mean, and here's the thing too. This is a community Discord. So whatever you guys want, if you guys want me to create a stream, create a thread for this or that. Well, Paul actually said, Candace, I need a crypto one. And I threw up a crypto one. So I'm totally open to whatever you guys want to see in there. I'll do my best to try to make that happen because I think like I said, it's a community thing. Paul says, yes, I shared my small crypto portfolio when I had Dot in there. That's right. I remember seeing that. So that was kind of cool. So hey, Starbucks, once again, time to sponsor me. Yeah, no, it's definitely. Oh, that was so good. It's definitely a lot of fun. And there's also these. Let me show you once again. I'll just because it's still up here. All right, we'll close this down here. So when you look on the side, these three little things down below here, where it says talking spot. Well, those are they're talking servers. If you go in there and you've got a mic, don't worry, there's no camera. These are just microphones. So if you got a mic, you go in there, and if a couple of you want to just have a conversation instead of typing, that's what it's for. That's a beautiful thing. Like a lot of gamers will use Discord because you do have that mic section. So for example, let's say I used to play World of Warcraft back in the day, and if we wanted to raid, somebody would have like a Discord server. We would all come in and we would join one of these talking spots. And that way there we could coordinate what we were, the way we were fighting the boss and all of that fun stuff. So, but yeah, feel free to use that. Even if let's say you don't have to be talking finance. You could be in there talking whatever the banana bread you want to talk about. I don't care. As I said, well, look, I'll show you. I'll show you how much I don't care. Here are the rules. Let's see here. Let's go up to the top. The first rule, I do not like a lot of rules. Basically, so as I said, as long as people are respectful with each other, I think there really isn't a need for rules. The only real rule is just to keep the language family friendly. And if you want to self-promote, do it in the self-promotion thread. There you go. There you go. Not a big, long list of rules. I mean, obviously, if something that unforeseen pops up on the server that is a big issue, maybe a rule might get added later for it. But in this community, you guys are all friggin' awesome. So I really don't think there's a need for rules. So if there's no need for rules, we will not have rules. That's the simple way it'll be. Paul said, There will be bots coming to Discord to try to spam and get people to invest in scams. Okay, so let's just be really upfront, straight in Discord, in even over on YouTube, or sorry, over on Facebook, in the comments here on YouTube. If anybody ever approaches you in any of those places and says, "Oh, I'm Candace, and I think you're really special, and I got this deal for you," it's not me. I'm not going to do that in the comments. I will never do that in the comments. If I actually had a deal, let's say for some reason I had some deal and I thought, oh my God, Paul is perfect for this. I would actually probably private message Paul. And then we'd probably talk on the phone or something if that were what was going on. So I'm never, ever, ever, I will never send any of you guys to WhatsApp, or give you a funky thing, some kind of a funky phone number. No, it's never happening. So just a thought. All right, Les is in the house. Thoughts on Cisco systems before earnings come out today? It's a good question. I mean, I like Cisco as a company. Gosh, I've used a lot of their products, from everything from routers to different relay devices. So I do like Cisco. Now, I haven't really looked at them, at least when it comes to how they've been growing. They haven't really come up on my radar very much, to be honest. So I don't know what they're doing, and I haven't looked at their fundamentals. So it's hard for me to give you a really big thing, but apparently their earnings are coming out. Let's see. Big layoffs for Cisco, and their earnings are out. Yikes. We can start the party. Jordan is here. Woohoo. Excuse me. And we got Brian in the house. Brian is also an expat Nova Scotian in northern BC. It's one of those funny things. I mean, you can find Nova Scotians everywhere. They're all over the place. It's like, I think it's kind of the way it used to be in Nova Scotia, is that because there was really no jobs and really opportunities there, you'd basically, you'd grow up in Nova Scotia, get out of university and everything, and then head somewhere else in the country. So Nova Scotians are everywhere. We're pretty much, you can turn a rock over anywhere and you'll probably find a Nova Scotian. I'm just saying. Vic says, never going to give you up and never going to turn around and desert you. Oh my. I've been rickrolled by Vic. Vic has just rickrolled me in the comments. That's funny. That is really funny. Yeah, good old Rick Astley. And that's a funny thing. I will admit this. This is a funny story. I had not even, by the time I actually heard about Rick rolling, it was already no longer a thing. So that was funny. So I then, of course, went and Rick rolled somebody just because I had never heard of it and I thought it was funny. So I did do it. I did Rick roll a few people. And Paul says, was Lyft up 35%? I don't know. I do not know, but I can take a look, I think. Let me pull this up. And I should actually. Whoops. Oh, I did not. I thought I was up already, but I guess I wasn't. Okay, Lyft. Let's see. Lyft. Here we go. Let's bring up Lyft. Holy banana bread. Look at this. From 12 to 65 to 16. I was going to say 65. Yeah, they had a little bit of a bump there. That's just on the 5-day. I want to take a look at them on the 1 year and see. Oh yeah, look at this. They came up, came back down, they came back up. So that's not too shabby. Now let's see here. There we go. So they announced their fourth quarter results. So they must have been good. I don't know if that'll tell me what they were here. Yeah, but I don't know. It's not telling me their expectations, but I'm going to assume quite safely that they probably beat some expectations here. So let's take a look here. Now, there's stuff coming out in the chat, so let's just take a look here. Vic says, rideshare is not profitable, and when they raise rates, they won't be profitable. The irony. Yeah, yeah, that I can see that. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I mean, most of these rideshare things have almost completely eliminated taxis. And I know there's a whole bunch of issues with taxis when things like Uber came around. One of them being that at one point, to be a taxi, you had to buy a plate or some kind of a licensing that was incredibly expensive to have a car. Um, I don't know if that was that might have just been in the US though. I don't know if that was in Canada, but I did hear something about it, a documentary. And they were all upset because all of a sudden you had these people taking all the business from cabs who didn't have to pay anything, and anybody and their dog could do it pretty much. So that is interesting. So Lyft earnings debacle. I haven't heard anything about it, Vic. Was anyone in that call yesterday? Hopefully, otherwise it would have been a very, very quiet call. Um, let's see. They mixed up 500 versus 500 basis point. Oh, that is an embarrassing error. That should not happen. So the CFO definitely apologized. But yeah, what a gaffe. That should not happen. That to me is just absolutely ludicrous if you can have an error of that nature. Oh, let's pull me back up again, by the way. All right. Yeah. So we're coming towards the end of this one. Unless you guys got more you want to talk about. If you got more questions, throw them in. We'll hit them up. So coming up this week is once again, we do have a deep dive coming out on Friday. On Thursday, we have that the exclusive channel members video, and I think the last I looked at the votes, I think Tools was winning for the what we were going to talk about, which is cool. We'll actually go in if that wins, if it holds up. We'll go in Thursday night and we'll actually look at the finance wizard. It's an AI that does finance stuff. So we'll do that. We'll look at that. We'll look at some screeners. We'll look at a whole bunch of different things. That'll be kind of cool. And of course, all of the questions, we'll just sort of file through them. So bring everything to that. Yes, the the 3,000 subscriber celebration stream it's well, not a stream, it's going to be a video this time around. It's the parody video. So I have begun writing for it. So far, I think I've got about 5 news stories written already. And it's going to be kind of fun. We'll have to see. As I said before, it's either going to be absolutely hilarious or or it's going to be a crash and burn. That I don't know which it will be, because sometimes things I think are absolutely hilarious, other people are like, "Oh my god, that's terrible." So we'll have to see. It could be very, very interesting. And Vic is saying, "Thanks, Candace. Happy Valentine to you and yours." Absolute. Thank you. Happy Valentine's to all of you guys as well. Jerry says, "Do you use investment apps like Wealth Simple?" Yes, I do use Wealth Simple. So I use Wealth Simple and National Bank. Those are my 2 brokers. So my RRSP is mostly I got actually my RRSP is split. I got part of it on National Bank and part of it in Wealth Simple. But yeah, no, I do love Wealth Simple quite a bit. It's just that because I do the trading that I do, it's just a little bit easier to do it on National Bank. That's the only reason that I have National Bank. Also that plus the fact that I have the US accounts for free and I'm not paying $10 a month for it. Now, if I had more than $100,000, then that would all be free over on Wealth Simple. But I do, and I also think there's a few statistics as well that they do a little bit easier over on National Bank. However, with that all being said, when it comes to taxes, if everything is on Wealth Simple, your taxes become so much easier, especially if you're using Wealth Simple Tax. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. So I will have to manually input a lot of stuff into Wealth Simple Tax that I wouldn't have to do if it was on Wealth Simple. But yeah, I do like Wealth Simple, and I have a referral link down below. Anybody who does want to sign up, we both get $25, which is pretty darn cool. But yeah, other than that, it is a good, and I should do another video on Wealth Simple one of these days. I also want to do a video on National. There's so many videos I want to do. Well, luckily I'm not going anywhere for a long time. So we've got lots of times to get those. Anyway, guys, we've come to the end of today's stream. We'll be back here again live on Sunday. We'll have a fantastic stream now that people will have nothing to do now that football's out of the way. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. And we're going to close out on Mary saying thanks. Great as always. Thank you guys. On your way out, be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. And I will see you, of course, in our next live stream